It's finally here, and fans can rejoice. The spiritual successor to the most influential game ever made, and debatably, the best game ever, Ocarina of Time. Twilight Princess was the most successful Zelda game of all time, selling more than many other Zelda games combined, and now just in time for not only the 30th anniversary of the Zelda series, but the 10th anniversary of the original release. Twilight Princess is now officially playable in HD, but is this enough of an improvement from the original? Well, we'll get into that later. First, I want to talk about the most obvious change, the graphics. Half the people I know love the new clear image, while others don't think it's so much of an improvement from the original. I think this is because of how great of a job Nintendo did with upgrading the graphics in Wind Waker HD, and giving us false expectations with the Zelda Wii U tech demo, which is what Nintendo explained to us as what Twilight Princess HD could look like if brought to the Wii U. Personally, I love the way the official remake looks, but I understand where the negative comments are coming from. Hey guys, if you're a fan of Zelda and you like discussing theories, games, and more, check out Hyrule Amino, aka Zelda Amino. It's basically like someone took the best parts of Twitter and Facebook and melded them into an awesome new social media platform dedicated to Zelda fans, for both Apple and Android phones. You can chat directly with myself, other Zelda YouTubers like HMK, Dr. Wily, Zelda Master, and tons of other Zelda fans as well. Be sure to download the app and let me know in the comments below, or by finding me on the app by searching Game Over Jesse. When Wind Waker HD was released, it was visually a huge improvement from the original. When you do the same comparison with Twilight Princess HD, it just looks like an upscaled version. This, in my opinion, is simply because Wind Waker HD was mostly created by Nintendo's E83 team, the same development team that is responsible for most main Zelda titles. They explained that when building the engine for Zelda Wii U, they experimented by rebuilding Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword in the new engine. They thought the game that stood out the most and was most deserving of a remake was the Wind Waker. So when we received the official remake, it was using the more advanced Zelda Wii U engine, which gave us the improvements we've seen. An older game completely rebuilt in a new engine. With Twilight Princess HD, it was created by Tantalus Media. Nintendo most likely didn't want to lend out access to their new engine they have for Zelda Wii U. So the development team of Twilight Princess HD were stuck with the original engine, which is now over 10 years old. Obviously they weren't able to make the same improvements as Nintendo did with Wind Waker HD, but the improvements they did make are still beautiful, and certain scenes in the game are enough to cause your jaw to drop when you're playing a game that originally started development almost 15 years ago and released 10 years ago. Tantalus didn't take the easy route. They didn't just up-res the game to 1080p, which removed all of the blurred, jagged edges that plagued the game's original release. They completely remade the textures as well, allowing you to see a lot more detail than you remember, and changing the looks of certain areas entirely. Now with the visuals out of the way, which is the point of an HD remake, we can focus on gameplay improvements. Twilight Princess HD has several. The biggest and best, in my opinion, is the motion controls. You can still use traditional button controls, but for those fast-paced moments, you can just aim your gamepad similar to the Wind Waker or the 3DS remakes, and you'll have better accuracy. The use of the gamepad also carries over to the touchscreen menu from Wind Waker HD as well. Another big feature is the inclusion of amiibo support. The regular amiibo don't take or add anything essential. You receive heart pieces, extra arrows, or in Ganondorf's case, you can make the game more challenging by taking double damage. The biggest amiibo feature comes with the Wolf Link amiibo, which adds a new mini-dungeon, the Cave of Shadows. If you've played through the Cave of Ordeals, then this dungeon will seem very familiar to you, but it requires you to be in wolf form the entire time. It's a fun challenge, but if you don't have the wolf amiibo, you're not going to miss out on anything within this game. However, the wolf amiibo is supposed to carry over to Zelda Wii U, so you will want to pick it up eventually. Some other changes in the game includes the Poe Lantern, which helps you locate the different Poes to make the side quest a little easier. The Tears of Light missions are shortened from 16 to 12, which speeds up the game tremendously. When you pick up a ruby, it only notifies you the first time. Probably the best improvement overall for those who are plagued by the bug in the original. We have the inclusion of Miiverse stamps, which adds Miiverse support for the game, sort of like the bottles in Wind Waker HD. The game itself allows you to pick between normal mode, which acts like the GameCube version, or hero mode, which brings us the map from the Wii version, without Wiimote support. So, for the first time ever, you'll be able to play the reversed map with traditional button controls and taking double damage, which the Ganondorf amiibo can be used with as well, to allow up to 4 times the damage. Unlike the most recent remake, Majora's Mask 3D, No real noticeable changes were made to locations or bosses aside from visual ones. If you're asking whether or not you should pick this game up or if it's for you, well, if you enjoyed the original, yes, you will absolutely love this remake. If you weren't a fan of the original, whether because of the game came out right when people were getting used to HD graphics, or because of the gameplay, then I think this HD remake deserves a second chance. Do you have an idea for a new theory? Would you like to be featured on my next theory, or be a part of a discussion video with myself and other Zelda theorists? Well, head on over to my Patreon page and check out the awesome rewards. Also, for a limited time, every pledge of $5 or more gets you entered to win a custom anime-style drawing of yourself, similar to the one shown here, or my own avatar. I would like to thank Angliki, Rocket Cat, Jonathan, and Gus Calvo for their support on Patreon, and Zelda Mino for allowing this video to be possible.